Hello, good morning, good morning. I found my old phone holder, so we should have less problems today. The sparkle fabric looks great. Thank you. I really like this one. I think it's gonna turn out so fun. Somebody else, Haley, I posted on my stories yesterday. She's using like snowflake fabric that looks so fun. So I'm excited. So today I decided that yesterday just did not go very smoothly, and I felt like it was really hard to see what was going on. So I'm gonna do this lightest color leaf, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do another from yesterday, the two I did yesterday. I'm just gonna do them again. So I saved yesterday's video. If you've already figured it out, you're good. But I just wanted to do that again, in case anyone was struggling, like what is going on with these leaves. Because I just didn't feel like yesterday's video was, I was super flustered. So anyways, if you already did those, you don't need to continue to watch, but you definitely can stay and hang out with me. But anyways, that's what I'm going to do. So today we're going to do the lightest blue, 3841. Or if you're doing the Christmas one, that green is 988. So depending on what wreath you're working on, those are the colors. So we're going to continue with our 6 strands. Our other 2 leaves are 6 strands, so we're just going to do this one as well. Okay, let me zoom in here. Hold on, let me move this way so I can move this way. Okay. We'll work on that one. All right. Okay, so we've got, I like to go arm length, like all the way out on my arm to my chest. If you're a newer stitcher, I might go like to the armpit or like middle of your bicep length, just so you have a little bit less to work with. It's not quite as hard. So when I'm threading a needle, I get it wet, I flatten it between my fingers, and then it usually just slides right in. But of course, on videos it doesn't because people are watching. At least if you can get a little bit of it in, then you can just pull that through. I just do a little knot at the end, wrap it around my finger. I know other people do like cool ways to like do a little knot, but that works for me. So that's what I do. Okay, so today we're gonna do a satin stitch leaf. With these, I like to make sure that my shape is really exactly how I want it because it's a little bit easier to follow. So if this is not quite like a perfect arch, I just like redraw it a little bit because we were kind of a little bit too fat down here. Okay, so we're gonna start at the top. And to the bottom. And then I usually go every other side. So I'm gonna kind of like we did with the fishbone over here. But when I'm doing this, I just go over slightly and down slightly. So you should be able to stay like right on this line. But once we get working, sometimes that line is just not quite the right curve. And then same thing, just up a little down or up a little over a little bit. so we can make sure that we cover that space really nicely. And then I do the other side, which is a little harder to see. My phone is a little bit in the way. But I feel like I can get a more consistent looking leaf if I go like back and forth between sides. You don't have to do it that way. You can do all of one side if you want, and then go back and do the other side. This is just how I like to do it. And I always like going from top to bottom. Like I almost always start at the top and work down. This just gives us a nice, smooth leaf. I feel like I have an easier time getting the shape that I like with the fishbone. That's like my go-to. But I do think it's fun to mix things up. But when we're done, you'll see, well, it won't be as smooth. Because normally with satin stitch, you go down, like all on one side. So then the back would be like the same. Like you would have these straight stitches on the back as well. But because we're doing one side and then the other, it'll not quite be like that, but. See, I started getting off my line a little bit right here, but that's okay. I like to think of patterns as guidelines. They're not exact sometimes. Okay, so once I get this close to the end, I kind of look and see, like this one's already pretty skinny, but this one's a little bit wider. So I'm gonna do one more over here. And see if I can kind of round that out a little bit. And then I kind of start to get my needle and like tuck it in under. Because if I do it straight here, it'll keep this edge a little bit straight. So if you kind of go in at an angle and go under that stitch just a little bit, it'll help you round that out a little bit. So I'm gonna come up and do the same thing. So like come up at an angle, and then go down at an angle, and it'll just help create kind of that round, like a more rounded look. And then I'm gonna do one more over here where I go up at an angle and down at an angle. And sometimes I'll get my needle under these stitches and just like fluff them up a little bit. There. It's a little bit diamondy, but that's okay. I think it's cute. What do you guys think? So now we've got the fishbone, satin stitch in an angle, and satin stitch straight. Oh, I've got one loose thread right there. But I really like how these two look, but I just find that the fishbone is easiest for me, so I generally use that. But I really like to do this and have like alternating sections. So like this part is dark blue and then a light blue section and then a dark blue and then a light blue, dark blue, light blue, dark blue. So it's like has different colors in it. It's kind of fun. Oh, that's not quite on camera, sorry. But anyways, okay, so that is it for today, but I am gonna move back to the Christmas one and do the leaves from yesterday. Oops. And do the leaves from yesterday because I feel like I was so flustered that I didn't explain things very well. So if you want to stay for that, you definitely can. We're going to have a better angle and a teacher who doesn't feel like totally flustered. Okay, let's see where we're at. Hang on, gotta loosen this a little bit more. Okay. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna work on these two, this dark and medium colored ones again. So if you're doing the blue, we've got 37.50, and I'm gonna be working with the green 890 for that darkest green. Have my little needle minder. Bex Stitches has these on sale today, so if you need a needle minder, she has super cute ones. This one's just like little thread skeins. But she has a cute sunflower one. I feel like she has another one. I can't think of what it is though. Anyways. Sorry, I was threading my needle. Okay. Do a little knot. All right, so we're gonna go, here's our middle line. And while I have my pen out, I'm gonna do this side as well. Okay. So we're gonna do the fishbone stitch again. So we're gonna start at the top, go down in the middle. And then just like we did with the satin stitch, we're just gonna try to keep on this line and go down and over a little bit. And then we're gonna, instead of going straight down, we're gonna cross this middle line. Depending on how you want your fishbone to look, if you go more at a horizontal angle, like if you come like over here, you'll have like a wider V. If you go down here, then you'll have a narrower V shape. So depending on how you want it to look, so you could actually, if you wanted to, while you're doing your leaves, if you want to practice, you could do some that start up higher and some that start down lower, just so you can see like what you like best. Then you'll still have the same texture, but you can kind of experiment with what you like, since you have a whole bunch of leaves here to work with. Okay, and then I'm gonna come up on the other side and we're gonna cross over again in the same spot, just on the other side of the middle, and create kind of that braided look. So if you do these a little further apart, you kind of have more of an open weave leaf, which I really like sometimes if I'm doing like really heavy flowers. Then I like to have a little bit more negative space. So like instead of doing this right next to it, you could come up like to the side a little bit and just leave a little bit of a space. So if you're also feeling like this might be a lot of stitching for you to handle, you could do that and you'll use like half the number of stitches because you're just creating more negative space. So this is just what we do all the way down on both sides. Back and forth to create that braid in the middle. Oop. And I said it yesterday, but I'm going to say it again. I really love Fishbone for like large leaves and small leaves. Like it works great for like both large and small. So it's really versatile to use no matter what size you're working with. Aren't we glad we redid this today? I am. I feel a lot better. I was super, super tired yesterday too. So then I was just like, my brain was just not, I was really struggling. I need to repaint my nails now that I look at them on camera. This is normal life for me. I don't paint my nails very often, but my daughter wanted to paint nails over the weekend, so we did. This left side is getting closer than this right side. I need to do a few closer together here so I can rebalance that, and then I'll do them a little bit further apart on the left side. I feel like this is a really like forgiving stitch. Like it doesn't have to be perfect for it to still look really nice. Haley, I was talking about you. Talking about your snowflake fabric. Okay, so once we get to the bottom, then we are not going to cross them anymore. Normally I will end like that, but because these are still like pretty straight, they're just not quite what I want. So I'm going to do like I did on the other one and kind of come up at an angle and down at an angle just so I can round that out a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Okay. All right. For those that are coming late, I did a satin stitch leaf earlier, but I was feeling like yesterday's didn't go well. So I'm redoing the fishbone and then the satin stitch at an angle today as well, in case anyone felt like yesterday was also a struggle. So you'll have to rewatch the beginning for the satin stitch one. Okay, so that's it for the fishbone one. And I think fishbone's on the back. Where is my camera? Right there. Like, look how cool they look. Isn't that fun? I think they're so fun. Okay, so when I tie off, I just find a stitch close by and just tie it off and hold on. I hold on to the stitches on both sides so that it doesn't like pull them, but there we go. scissors. Get that back on camera. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to this satin stitch at an angle. I'm gonna use 33.45. If you're doing the winter one, you're gonna do 38.42 or whatever else you have picked out. Of course, you can use whatever you have on hand. Alrighty. Let me just get my needle threaded. Hold on, please. Oh. Do you ever thread a needle and then you just have like this one string that didn't get in there? Oh, drives me crazy. I hate when I do that. To redo the whole thing. Okay. Okay, so same thing as I was talking about with this one. If you do an angle, let me turn this just a little bit. The worst. I know, it is the worst. Okay, so if you want like a deeper V, then you just need to do more of an angle. You can be more horizontal if you want. I like a deeper V, so I'm gonna try and keep to, oops, this angle like that. So if you wanted to be cool, you could like do this one dark and this one light, like that. So then it's like different colors. Makes it kind of fun. I'm not gonna do that, but maybe another stitch along. Okay, so I like to start not quite at the top just because I don't know. So I'm gonna start here and just go to this middle line. And on this one, I like to work one side first and then the other. So we're just gonna satin stitch all the way down this center. You can switch sides if you want, if like that was your rhythm and it felt good. You can do that. I don't know why. This one I always like to do one side first, but no, I think yesterday I did it every other. But when I was doing the blue one on my own, I did it one side and then the other. I'm not sure why. I don't remember what I did yesterday on camera. It was kind of a whirlwind. Okay, and then I kind of look, once I start coming up on this next line, do you see how like my angle is like this? So what I'm gonna do is do my stitches here a little closer and then over here a little bit further apart so I can get that angle back. Because sometimes I lose that angle that I started with. But you can always fix it. Just keep the outside tighter and the inside a little looser. And you get that angle right back to where you want it. Or you can do the opposite as well. If your angle starts to get too vertical, then you can do wider on the edge and tighter in the middle. Okay, so we're coming up to this leaf. This one I'm working on is gonna be under this one. So instead of coming all the way out to the edge, I'm just gonna fill in this space next to it. Okay, and then we can start let's see. I don't feel like this angle is the same. I'm gonna come and do this other side. This side is a little bit crooked. See, we had a little bug eat the corner of this. A little dip. My angle seems to be doing a little bit better, so that's good. I'll start moving my center just so that it lines up with this, because I don't want that space to be empty, but I also don't want to do like itty bitty teeny tiny little stitches on the other side of the leaf. So I'd rather just move my center line over a little bit. We're almost done. I think just 2 or 3 more stitches down here. And then what I like to do is just go like where these two meet and bring it up to the middle. Would the fern or fly stitch work for the leaves? Yeah, for sure. If you want to do that, we're gonna do the fern stitch and the fly stitch for these little sprigs here. But yeah, you can do it for leaves as well if you want. It's a fun stitch. It's one of my favorites. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. Or no, Friday. What's tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow we're gonna do lazy daisies for like these ones. Not both of them, just one of them. But yeah, you can use that for these leaves as well. And then I do this last one just on top, just to kind of cover up any weird ones. So I'm just going down in the center, like where I came up from the bottom, just to fill in this space and kind of keep that V shape. And then I'm gonna come and do my last one over the top like I did. It's got a lot of thread right there in the middle. Okay, there, that's better. So do you see how similar those are? Like they are really really similar, but I don't know. I like that this one is a little bit softer, like with that kind of braiding, and then this one kind of has that abrupt stop in the middle. So that's why I like fern stitches. I just feel like it's or not a fern stitch, I'm sorry, fishbone stitch. But that's why I like those, because I feel like they just look really soft. So anyways, that's our 3 leaves today. There's the blue lineup. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna do half of these ones. We're gonna do some back stitching and some lazy daisies. And then Thursday we'll do these other ones. They're gonna be back stitch and some satin stitch. And then Friday we'll do the fern stitch and the fly stitch. And then next week we'll start on our other little bits. So let me know if you have questions. I am around, so let me see your progress too. I love to share. That's what's so fun about this community, is being able to share our work and see how everyone else is coming along. So make sure you share and tag me. And yeah, we will be back tomorrow, same time, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, to do some lazy daisies. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.